So I bought this cane, which I quite like, but it has one minor issue. The end of it broke off. Now I have the end. So what I did is I measured the center, drilled a hole in both ends of it, took a little nail, put some cross hatching in it, cut the end off, cut it to length, so I can pin it. Now, no matter what I do, you're gonna see this gap in here, no matter what. So instead of just using wood glue, I decided to use some black wood glue. So what I did was combined some Titebond and some RIT dye. I made my own little concoction. Just working on getting some of the dusty bits, the bits that look like rotten wood. Because when I bought this cane, it already had a crack in it. And it looks like somebody, either the wood had some sort of insects in it, or somebody had already tried to wood glue it. And it didn't work very well. So what I'm doing is getting that dusty residue off, so that hopefully the wood glue will stick better. Just trying to work it into all the pores in there. So the cross hatching on this pin is just so that the glue has something to hold on to. So I originally mixed up this wood glue and dye in a Ziploc baggie. And the problem I was getting is that I'd have too much dye for the wood glue in certain areas, and so it would make little clumps in it. So I went to the dollar store and bought this sealing jar to hopefully mitigate that, and it seems to be a fairly smooth consistency. So I am not a woodworker by any means. I am what you might call a generalist, or jack of all trades. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. And I'm going to waste a little bit of glue doing this, but this way I know that every void will be filled. Because I'm anticipating there's going to be void voids in this, as there was quite a bit of powdery, some sort of powdery stuff on the inside. So the point of the pin is to keep it from sliding sideways. So the pin should hold most of the weight, and the glue is more to keep the pin in place and keep it from wiggling around. The other added benefit is hopefully it'll look good. Okay. Still anticipating that I'm going to have to come back later and touch up some of the gaps. And I'll either finish that off with more of this black wood glue, or I may come in with some black CA glue. Realizing I should have worn gloves. That. The highest quality of all soft jaws. I'm anticipating I'm going to have to clean off some of this glue from the bottom side of this later, because I want the crack to show. As I know there are voids on the sides. I know there's voids on the sides that will be visible along the fracture. And so I purposely want to add a nice black piece there, so it draws attention to it and shows it as a purposeful repair instead of a shoddy repair to an accident. Now, with new lighting, we'll take this out and look at this. It's not too bad. Definitely could use some cleaning up. Come on, there we go. Suppose next time I should probably use something plastic to wrap this in instead of paper towel. You know what they say, hindsight is 20/20. I like the way that little blob of glue turned out, how shiny it is. I don't know if you can see that. But gotta get rid of it. So I think what I'm gonna do is top it up with black super glue, just to polish it up just a wee bit and get some, I don't know if you can see it, right in there, there's some jagged edges. So the black super glue will hopefully also help me pin those down. But otherwise, it's not too bad, I don't think. I'd like to bring out the crack just a wee bit more, but that is somewhat acceptable. And feels sturdy. I put my weight on it, so that is promising. So, this is the glue that I'm going to be using. Now, I've never used this before, but it does say, bond skin instantly. So, rubber gloves it is. Now to use my undersized scissors for this task. I can get you to see this. So hopefully we'll bring that pop of color or out of this wood. So I might come in here with light sanding after. I don't know how long this takes to dry. Let us grab something that I can glue. See how long that takes. Probably leave this and come back again and finish the other half. So I went and bought some CA activator to help it cure. And it seems like it's working. And it also smells like strawberries. So it's getting better. That side still needs to be done. Should let this inside house warm up. I'll just do another layer on top because I think I will sand this. Let's see if this activator will work. Now, it says it should cure in 8 to 10 seconds. Let's see, grab something that's not my finger. Oh yeah, real nice. I like that. That worked very well. Perfect. Quite a bit of whiting right there. A lot of these cracks are just very, very minuscule. So I'm hoping when I sand it down it'll smooth out a little bit. So I will sand this down, where the CA glue is, and then try to bring out a polish in it. So I like that shiny look. Alright, this glue has had plenty of time to cure, and now it's time to figure out how I'm going to trim this back. This is just a little chisel point work knife here. Interchangeable chisel points made by Tack Life. And this seems to be working all right. Just keeping the handle off to the sides so that I can get nice and close to the wood with the blade, parallel to the wood with the blade. Back to the craft knife. So what I'm trying to do is get it somewhat close. And then I will probably come in here with sandpaper and clean it up properly. Around here is going to be fun. I'm going to need a little bit of sandpaper to polish this. So that's something. So along these points here, what I may do, I don't know if you can see that, the glue has completely come out of that crack. So what I may end up doing is going along the crack with the knife and cutting a V shape into, like a very shallow V shape into the wood, so that that super glue can set in there. And I may have to try to roughen it up so that it bonds well. This area did not bond well to the wood. This seems to have bonded fairly well, other than this little section here as well. Alright, so I have some 400 grit sandpaper and a putty knife. And so we're just going to clean this up a little bit. I've already been working along this area here, have it pretty smooth. It's a little difficult in the grooves here, but we do what we can. That seems to have worked alright. It smooths out most of the lines. Once I get that polished up and the rest of this oiled, or however I'm finishing it, should make that really pop. Actually, go. There we go. This is what it should look like. Yeah, I like that. That's not half shabby, if I do say so myself. I may end up putting a little bit of an oil on to help seal everything in. But yeah. And I have tried it, and it does support my entire body weight. So